Amaze is a Berlin-based brand that's brought its signature interdisciplinary gaming concept to Johannesburg. These guys are quite out there, and we're about to catch up with some of them. Well, now I count myself really lucky to actually be getting to the core of how Amaze started. So I'm sitting with director and founder Thorsten Wiedemann from Berlin. Welcome. Awesome to have you with us in Jozi.
Thank you. It's so cool here.
That's really epic. So tell me, why did you decide to collab with Fak'ugesi and bring Amaze to SA?
I did a festival in Berlin in 2010. Amaze is founded in 2008, but I did the first bigger festival in 2010 in Berlin. So Glenn van Loggenberg is a DJ and also TV producer, and he actually went to Berlin to the Club Transmediale festival. It was an electronic music festival. And we had a show there, a festival, the first festival. He was really kind of, wow, this is the thing we want to have as well in Johannesburg. Then I get in contact with Pippa Chabalala. She was the host of the show, The Verge, and she said, hey, we really have to talk. We really have to talk because, I mean, the WITS University, there's a new curriculum about game design in 2012 starting. And then I said, hey, cool. I come down there, and 2011 was for the first time in South Africa. I knew nobody here, and I just went to the WITS University. I went to the Goethe Institute because Goethe Institute founded the first festival in 2012. And yeah, this was the start. And now it's the fourth time. And it's growing, it's big, it's so fantastic, so many cool games. And most of the games here are from South Africa and Africa. So I'm also very happy that we have 8 people from Africa here. So from Senegal, from Côte d'Ivoire, from Nigeria and from Kenya. And it's so cool to have everybody here in this kind of energy, you know? It's super creative, everybody's doing stuff, playing, we have workshops, we have talks, and we have screenings and parties, and it's just like good vibe. And Joburg is the right city for that, so I choose, of course, to stay here.
Well, Thorsten, you're quite the rock star. You travel the world and you're a curator of many things, not just gaming. How does it differ culturally? You must see quite a bit between gamers around the world.
I mean, I see a lot, and I'm traveling from festival to festival. I'm doing exhibitions and stuff like that, in media art, playful media, and as well games, independent games. Culturally, there's a lot of stuff happening in each of the countries, and you can see as well in the content of the games that they're specific from this country coming. It's not that the mechanics are super different, but the gameplay and the content and the story by itself is really, really kind of country focused, I think. And I'm very happy that I did this year for the first time the Amaze pop-ups in Soweto and Alexandra, because I think these people have a completely different mindset than me. I'm a European, you know. I'm not struggling with whatever, getting food and stuff like that. And we were thinking to go there and teach them to use the tools because they're mostly for free and put their culture into this medium. And it would be so cool to have whatever in 2 or 3 years, some guys from Soweto or Alex sending some games here. And then we see something completely different and new.
Well, sit tight, more gaming after this, and we also catch up with fellow Africans who went to probably the coolest gaming expo in Germany, Gamescom. Check out. Catching up with Bayo Adibimbo from Jenny Games in Nigeria. Welcome. Really cool to be picking your brain about the gaming world, and you've got a few interesting things which we're going to get to later. But why gaming, and when did this fascination really become a career?
So for me, it was straight out of school. I mean, I was looking for interesting ways to make indigenous cultural values more interesting for kids back home in Nigeria and across Africa and the world generally. And so gaming came to mind because of the interesting interaction with which, you know, one can drive with them.
Do you feel that the gaming world is quite competitive?
Well, I think it is in the West, given my experience at Gamescom. You know, but here in Africa, I feel like we still have enough, there's enough room for so many people. I mean, again, there's still just a handful of us here, you know, so, I mean, it gives you an idea as to how much, you know, room there is to bring in more people.
Right, so I want to get into your games now. And, I mean, you've taken 2 games, but really fleshed it out with many, many fun factors. So tell me more.
Okay, so I mean, I have one game called Yoruba 101. It's that Legend Edition. It's a language teaching app, you know, built around the Yoruba culture in Nigeria. So bottom line is you're trying to become a legend. You want to become a legend. And the only way that you can become a legend in the game is to actually demonstrate to us that you understand the basics of the language. So it takes you through about over a dozen lessons and games, you know, where, I mean, you're learning, you're playing very simple casual games, you're unlocking legends, deities, and you can share with your friends so they can see your progress via social media.
Well, well done, and here's to making culture really fun through gaming. Well, we seem to be chilling with all the main peeps right here, and now I've got Mr. Fak'ugesi himself, Professor Christo Doherty. So first of all, congratulations. This is pretty epic in terms of collabs and international stuff. How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling very, very happy about it. Things have been going great. We've been getting capacity audiences for a whole range of different events, and I'm very pleased.
Fantastic. Now, you're also quite excited about the African synergies and gamers and creators that are part of Amaze this year.
Definitely, definitely. Because I think if Amaze and Fak'ugesi is going to grow, it's going to grow through engaging with what's happening in the rest of Africa. And what we found just over the last few years is there was nothing. And now this year we've got 8 different African game studio owners or designers actually down here and participating with the festival, and that's great. We hope to grow it.
Yeah, I mean, Fak'ugesi has so many different legs to it, you know, digital and technology. Where to from here, and what else can we expect to see in terms of collabs?
I think you can expect to see us looking for more relationships with other countries, as I say, particularly with Africa. We're looking to develop a relationship with the JHB Festival in Egypt, which happens in Cairo in March, and they're very keen to become a partner. So we could actually span, not to say it again, Cape to Cairo, but Joburg to Cairo.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, and hats off to you and the work that Fak'ugesi is doing. Nikki, we're about to get deep, I see. Now, this game was actually formulated out of yoga breathing practice?
That's right, that's right. We started to see that yoga breathing, like the deep belly breathing, is really good for your body, right? But it's also really boring to do. Like my colleague Owen Harris, he loves to do yoga, but at a certain point he realized, man, I'm just doing these exercises, and I could do them longer if it wasn't so boring. So he started to, because he's kind of a hacker, he started to make this weird thing. And this is believe it or not, this is a controller. This is a game controller. So he made this thing that goes around your belly, and it can measure the tension of your belly. So as you push your belly outwards while breathing, we can control a game with it.
Aha, so it's about to take me deep under, and you would say it's in prototype phase, so we're really about to give it a good test.
Let's go.
Beam me up.
Yes. We'll strap you in. You can put the helmet on. So try to breathe in through your belly. You see the circle gets larger, and that's when you go up, and when you breathe down, out, the circle gets smaller and you go down again. So I'm gonna put the headphones on now, which has really relaxing sort of soundscape music, and have a nice journey.
Wow. Woo! Oh my goodness. I think we would seriously run out of film if I had to stay in that universe all day, because it could keep me there forever and ever. It's such a happy place. And the one thing you cannot worry about with this game is keeping it skinny. Now, what I really like about the gees in this room is that there's a general excitement and support for Africa and the development in gaming that's going on. So I'm now with Bio Piticum, yet another awesome game developer. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tell me a little bit more about your games in particular.
Okay. My studio is called Chop Up Games. We're a studio based in Nigeria, and we're one of the leading studios. And one of the reasons why I can say that with comfort is because I can count the number of studios in my country on one hand. And it's so disappointing because we have such an incredibly huge market for games, but we don't have people creating games specifically for that market. And for us, we believe that that is very, very important. You know, African gamers should have African games to play. And that's one of the reasons why we started our studio, to create games with African themes for local and diaspora markets.
Fantastic. Now, chop up your games for me. I want to see some of this.
All right, no problem. I can show you one I have here. It's called Table Soccer. And what we did was essentially we digitized something that was a game for us growing up. And you know what, back then, you know, it wasn't like foosball. It was like just crown corks, and you get a button, and then you set up two teams, and they could play against each other. So we took that experience and we put it on a mobile phone. So there are two modes. You see here, you select your crown cork. They have different attributes, and then I can play against the computer. Anybody who grew up in Nigeria grew up playing this, look, I scored, you know.
Yes, go!
If the sound was up, you know, it'd be really loud, go! So those kinds of things. In this game, you can play over Bluetooth as well. So you download it on your phone. As long as you're in proximity with a friend, you can play against each other, and it's so, so cool.
So what I gather from you, Bio, is that keeping it close to home is really key.
Oh, yes, it is.